starting to write this album, like for me, I was looking for like big, really like big riffs.
Yeah.
I feel like the band's kind of always had that even before I came along. And I feel like we had really big riffs on The World That Was, and I wanted to go, bigger and wider, because it takes longer to get where it needs to go.
No live music, so you're sort of forced into a writing mode. It was kind of nice. I mean, coming immediately out of one album.
This one was just, okay, we are going to just lock down and let it all fall out.
Even though that there was only a year between the two, I think we spent a lot of time, spent all of 2020 writing.
Yeah.
I was able to bring a lot of home for a good chunk of the first part of the year. So there was, lots of stuff to pick from, materialized between the two of those. That one was almost pretty good.
That was sweet.
Yeah, I can do it again.
When I was recording rhythms yesterday, I never could have imagined writing and recording those riffs, 3 albums ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could have never brought those riffs to band practice and go, oh yeah, that's,
Yeah.
wouldn't have happened. I think The World That Was, the prior album, opened up certain doors for us. In the past, we had trepidation potentially stepping through.
Yeah.
And The World That Was proved that we could go through those doors. Almost like we're in like a dungeon crawl, and we're getting like deeper into the dungeon, and who knows what. But you can't get deeper into the dungeon and level up unless you've been through, right? There's no portal that's just going to take you there.
I think a big thing for us is we've always been willing to use influences outside of metal.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's movies, literature, or just other kinds of music.
Coming in just from a vocal perspective, like the music itself seems a lot more like kind of Gothic era Paradise Lost in there a little bit. Still kind of rolling with some like kind of unique pop sensibility with it.
Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Radiohead, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Mother Love Bone.
You wouldn't put on a Temple of Void records and say, oh yeah, that sounds like Nirvana, or that sounds like Pearl Jam. There's like just little pieces here and there where it's not something overt necessarily.
If it's overt, then we failed. I think it's really important that we get our inspiration draws from a wide palette outside of heavy metal.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just gonna sound like everybody else.
It's good. Did you want me to scratch with it? No, it's fine.
I mean, it's the pandemic. I mean, it was a downer for pretty much everybody. I mean, everybody's kind of going through their stuff. Some people have suffered, deaths in their families. Some people, there's a lot of things going on. People are isolated. There's a lot of people that I've seen that are really struggling with the fact that they can't socialize. Bert painted us that painting of, the boat kind of going into the mouth, entering the mouth of madness. And now this one's kind of, it's almost like you're in the mouth. Like, what are you confronted with, like, once you enter in, And I think a lot of that, it's reflective of, like, the pandemic, too, where it's like, you're kind of faced with yourself. Negative experiences we take in, a lot of mental illness stuff, a lot of dark subjects that are horrific, but may not necessarily be, like, monsters or some sort of, like, fantastical element.
Been great working with Arthur. Very comfortable.
Oh yeah.
First time dealing with it. First time.
From walking into the studio, just meeting and shaking his hand, to this process where we're almost done.
Yeah, one of the easiest. Fantastic. Yeah, I was going to say definitely one of the easiest people I've personally ever worked with. Very laid back.
Yeah.
I think Arthur is artistic, and you don't really know what you're going to get when you record with him, other than it's going to be good. And that was the thing that like drew me to him, is I wanted an artistic collaborator. I feel like he'll work with us to get the best out of what we want, and not make it like the Arthur way.
Yeah.
Other than it's good, and that's like the end of the day all.
Yeah. not every producer can work with any band, and not any band can work with every producer. You know, if you're involving another person in the mix, you know, like people still have to work together to some degree. You know, his approach definitely works well.
He vibes
for us.
with us.
Yeah,
He's a good dude.
and he's willing to experiment. I'm sure, like you know, like I said, like you know, talking about putting an old whammy pedal on bass, and you know,
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, sure, you know, like never say no to anything.
Right.
You know?
I appreciate that everyone in the band is open to fucking with what we bring to the table.
Yeah.
And that no one's like, well, that's how I wrote it. You know?
Right.
You know,
Right.
well, we just made it better. So, you know, thanks for bringing it to the table. Now we've seasoned it.
Right.
You know?
You know, and I think with the evolution too, you know, with being that we had so much time to write, that I think there's still like a pretty healthy evolution between the world that was and what's coming next.
I mean, like I can kind of take the stuff and channel like what I feel out of it. You know, you guys kind of construct the riffs, like Al and Don sort of put it together, and then everybody sort of brings in and adds their own arrangement, kind of like piecemeal to it, and then it becomes the final product. Like every band is kind of an organic connection. You know, it's that combination of these, you know, X amount of personalities that come together. And each personality has their own sort of musical influences, styles, and I mean, it's a very unique thing. I like that. I like the collaborative process. I like this stuff, like the recording end of it.
At the end of the day,
I just want to write and play crushing riffs with my friends. That's really like
There you
that's
go.
really my mission statement. Is I just want to like write awesome shit with my friends.
yeah, I think you could just put that in quotes, Donder, and that's fine.
Yeah,
Because
that's the mission statement.
I think from my perspective, we don't write for anybody other than ourselves.
Mhm.
It starts with either one of us. As long as I'm happy with the original riff that I wrote and then I bring it to you, as long as you're happy with the original riff and you bring it to us,
Yeah.
then once the whole band gets our hands on it, as long as we're happy as a unit of 5 people, that's it.
Yeah.
And we're just like thankful that people dig what we do, but we would never cater to anyone's preferences.
Right.
So any evolution that we have as a band is like an internal evolution,
Mhm.
not reflective of like what's been perceived.
Yeah, or what we think
What we think someone would
somebody
like.
wants. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care for that.